being in a band for me was meant as much as being a professional footballer. You know,
Yeah,
everyone's
absolutely.
obsessed with a couple of things when growing up. So could not do it, and I don't regret that. I think my life would have been totally different, and I don't know if I'd have been happier. So
Yeah.
what matters is
No,
happiness.
absolutely.
And I've done all right out of it.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to the latest edition of All Wednesday. We've got music on the mind again. Joe Carnall, thank you very much for coming. You might know Joe as maybe your history teacher, but probably more likely the guy from Melbourne. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. I've just been teaching some history as it goes. So I'm a bit bleary-eyed.
That's fair enough. I can see that.
Yeah, that's why this is going down all right.
Yeah, lovely. Get it in. We're not sponsored by Guinness, but maybe one day we will be.
Gladly accept sponsorship.
Joe, talking Wednesday, obviously, because that's what this show's about. For yourself, it's been something that's been going on for a while, hasn't it? Your whole life.
That's it. Yeah, you're born into it, aren't you?
Absolutely.
There's no, you don't have any control over it, and that's kind of the way it should be, I think, for any football fan.
Yeah, touching on that, it's obviously not a Wednesday thing, but you know the way football's gone now, and there is a lot more people, I suppose, choosing their teams for one way or another. You know, like it's
Not having it.
It's not right,
Not
is
having
it?
Not having it. Like you see kids, obviously, you know, running around in Man City shirts and Chelsea shirts, and I get like wanting to be the best, like in the kit of your best player, your favourite player.
Yeah.
No problem with that. But you're not a Chelsea fan, mate.
No.
You're not. You don't choose. I'm sorry.
Unless you've got a genuine reason, because there are genuine reasons, aren't there? You know, you know, people like move away, and then you support who your parents support and things like that. Like I get that, but I don't, and I think it probably hits home in a city more so with ours because there is well I say it with ours, like with Wednesday, there is no reason that you would, unless it's forced upon you.
If you're talking about the other side of the city, like we've been bang average or less for 24 years now.
Yeah.
And all they've done is they've had excitement. I mean, they've had some troughs as well. So in terms of getting the youth to support Wednesday, it's incredible how we're still staying such a fan base because they've been so bad when you compare it to them. They've been up and down and they've had some glamour, haven't they?
Yeah, well, they've got to do the Premier League and they've got to, you know, like when you're selling that dream, you're in at Bramall Lane and you can go watch Arsenal and you can watch Liverpool. Yeah. With us, there was a chunk where you're watching Forest Green and it's not got quite the same sell value.
When we remember me growing up, we were like 16th in League One.
Yeah.
I think that was our lowest ever. But it makes the success even tastier, doesn't it? When you get there. Well, are we there yet? We're not there yet. We're just a trudge.
But it is. I think you're right, and you know you see a lot of stuff these days about you know you'll see Man City fans complaining because they've not won this and that, and I get it. Like you get to a point when you set certain standards, but like will they like now for that generation that have grown up with that constantly, will they ever know what we felt at, you know, against Peterborough? And like, what can you reach those levels when success becomes such a regular thing?
No, it's like anything. It's like having like Michelin star food every night. You know, after a bit, you just want a burger and chips. Don't you?
Exactly.
You just want you don't even want to sit down and eat. You want a Berries while you're walking. To a pub or to the ground. Do you know what I mean? It's all relative, isn't it? And I don't know, when is enough? Do they have to like take over Mars to be happy?
I mean, to be fair, it's not off the cards, is it?
Well, they've had a bit of a slip, haven't they? But, you know, to us, all the expectations shift and it makes those things even sweeter. I don't know any football fan, well, every club will have their story, but as with Peterborough particularly, I just don't see how it's ever going to get more exciting. Never better. Winning Premier League, winning Champions League would be unbelievable. Never going to happen. But how's it ever going to be more exciting than that?
But that's it, and it's I've spoken about it before. I find like it's quite depressing in a way.
Yeah.
Like I'm 34 years old and I do this for a living, and I already know that career-wise I've peaked. Like,
but what you have potential is you see loads more quality week in, week out.
Yeah.
You know, when's the next Waddle, Hurst, Sheridan generation coming? If ever. But that's what you could look towards, couldn't you? Yeah. But no game of football will ever do that.
No, like I think about, like, I've watched England quite a lot growing up, and I travelled with England and doing all that kind of stuff, and like watching England at a World Cup semi-final when I was in Russia was fantastic, and if they'd won that tournament it would have been great. But I still don't think it'd have got near. Like even Wembley didn't get near it.
No.
I mean, mainly because I was terrified
Yeah,
for a long period of time.
But yeah, Peterborough, man, unbelievable. There's a reason actually I can't take my coat off.
Go on.
Because the only shirt, and this is pathetic if I'm quite honest, but this is like a head and heart thing. So bear in mind, not to blow my own trumpet, but I've got a master's degree. You know, I'm an educated lad. I'm relatively, straightforward, sensible. But the only shirt that was ironed, that was presentable, is this one. And I tend not to wear it.
It's wrong colour, isn't it? Yeah, get it zipped up.
Do you know what I mean?
We don't need that on this kind of show.
So I feel embarrassed wearing it, which is utterly pathetic.
It's so ridiculous,
and it never gets worn, but unless I really have to.
Yeah.
And it goes to show, as luck would have it, I'm here tonight. So,
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
Sorry.
But talking about it, we obviously had the Sheffield derby recently. It gets really like edgy and stuff around here when that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's.
It didn't have the bite this year.
Well, it was early doors on a Sunday, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And they were expected to win. We weren't. I think earlier in the season, there's not as much at stake. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, it's not particularly nice. I was going to go and meet my mates after. Sometimes I'll go and meet my United mates just for.
Because we've all got some of them.
We've all got some of them. Loads of them. I've got loads of mates. And I just think it's nice sometimes.
I've
got
loads
of mates. Got loads. Don't need any more than full. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to have a debrief.
Yeah. Yeah, like the alternative view sort of thing.
Yeah. And then I just thought, I can't be arsed. And then I saw all that footage of Wilder in Banner, I think it were, and Joe Root. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
did I see that? Yeah, we had to write stories about it.
and I'm like, thank God I weren't there.
Do you know what? Though I will say, look, obviously there's that whole episode is split opinion, shall I say?
Yeah.
But what I do think it's done is the next derby's going to be fun. Man.
It is. It's giving it some spice, and
Yeah.
especially coming to Hillsborough after that. I don't know what to think. Like, part of you thinks he clearly is a United, loves this club, blah blah blah. It's just a little classless, isn't it?
I really hope, and I'm not sure they will, because Wednesday don't tend to. Look, for any fault they may have, they are like a classy club in terms of the way they handle themselves. They don't tend to do a lot of jokey things and stuff like that. I would love it if if Wednesday do win and they've got just get a picture of Danny eating a sausage roll on the bench or something like that. I think it'd be banging.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I mean, it might be a picture that never sees the light of day, but just get it prepped.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
But I think that the derby, just having it back, it's nice, isn't it? Like it's nice and awful.
I think. Look, we'll finish 15th. We'll stay up.
Yeah.
So to have a bit of excitement, just something to look forward to. Like people forget, 95% of clubs aren't going to win trophies.
Yeah.
Every season, 99. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. You do the maths.
Yeah. These days, I mean, you're looking at such, especially if you're looking
small
within England. There is a very small handful of clubs that actually win anything ever.
So you need these moments and these memories to sort of make it all worthwhile. Even if you lose, it's worth taking. We're no disgrace at Bramall Lane. I mean, we could have been a bit more dangerous, couldn't we?
Yeah. They just had that little.
Nothing much in it. They were 15 minutes where they had a bit of quality in the second half. But to then go off like that, I mean, I will bring it back round to that. To then go off like that, it's just really. I mean,
do you know what? I think it was one of those results that most people left going, I'm alright with that. I wouldn't say, obviously when fans weren't happy and they wanted to get more of it in.
You'd like a shot on target at Bramall Lane, wouldn't you? And I think they were better than that. I think they deserved a couple of shots, but that's not what derbies are about.
No, and I mean they're always cagey. I mean, what was it like for you growing up? What was your first derby? Do you remember the first one you did? But I actually went to.
Well, I was going to matches when United were terrible, weren't I? So it's true, isn't it? And then we were terrible. So there's not been loads, has there, really? But yes, one of my earliest memories, and I can't remember the year. Stephen Quinn scored at Bramall Lane, and then Michael Brown. I went to that game when Michael Brown scored that volley.
They're going to say, annoyingly, when all the stuff was happening before and then they were showing the compilations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that Michael Brown goal was really, really good.
It's a good hit.
It's annoyingly really good.
But is it? It's probably better. Is it But I were also at Bramall Lane for when Tug Guy scored,
Yeah.
and I was one of the best moments of my life for a few reasons. Unbelievable goal against United, and like I said, I mentioned my mates earlier. 8 of them are United guys, and I clocked them before, so waving. Well, we were doing more than waving before.
Yeah, I'm sure it was just a really lovely jovial wave.
Yeah, so I knew where he was sat. So when Tug Guy scored that,
Yeah.
I saw them all and went, I can't remember going as mad at the game. Well, maybe Peterborough right at the end.
Yeah.
And when you're right behind the flight of it into the top corner.
The great thing I love about that goal is when you watch it back, the amount of people you can see United fans go in.
On their cop.
Go on then.
Yeah, go on.
It's it, I dare you.
Yeah. Yes, that's an early one. The rest, they're not great games, are they?
Well,
when
like you
back?
say, there hasn't been that many of them.
Not
you know,
really.
over the years, when you look at, we always seem to, like, you know, obviously United have been a Premier League team more than we have in recent years, but there has been a lot of just like, we don't tend to be in the same place at the same time. You know, they spent a chunk in League One, we spent a chunk in League One as well.
Which probably makes it more aggressive when it does come round, you know, in terms of the fans.
Yeah.
There's no, like, nothing settles down as yet, because everyone's still fired up.
Yeah,
just 'cause we're
I
playing
think
each other.
with this one as well, the one that just went, I think there was also that added element of, not only have we not played each other in a while, I think it was the longest we'd not played each other since the 90s. It was like almost 6 years. But also the last 3 have been draws, so no one had ever really got bragging
That's
rights.
what I mean, there's not been many classics really. Obviously they'll say that one.
Yeah, but we won't
mention that one.
And on that note, I think it's probably time we took a break and just went to and then we'll stop talking about Steel City derbies because now I'm just a little bit depressed. So yeah, we're back for part 2. Join us then. Cheers. Well, welcome back for part 2 of this week's or Wednesday. Joe, we'll get on to your sort of Wednesday history. You spoke about that Marcus Tug Guy goal and sort of being around when Wednesday were quite good. It's, you know, we're a similar age, so we didn't have I mean, look, we were alive for that bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was Carboni, it was Di Canio and that lot for us really, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there's all that. I remember, I can't remember what year it was, 97, 98 maybe, where Carboni and Di Canio were just, I used to, as a kid, you'd get there a bit earlier, before, you know, that kicks in. And
Before you just ruin everything.
Yeah. And I remember watching them warm up, and it were like 2 people from outer space had just been planted on this football pitch.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing with ball? How is that happening?
Yeah, we'd not really had foreign players before as well.
No.
Not like that anyway, you know, like, I remember seeing Carboni for the first time, and he had his headband, and he had his white boots, and his, like, you know, straps on his socks and stuff. I just remember looking at him and going, I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, maybe like in Chelsea, London. We don't do that.
We don't get players like this.
And I remember going away to Newcastle, similar time period, and we went top at league. And I always get mixed up. I don't know if I went 2 consecutive years, but I was there also when Carboni scored that overhead kick.
Yeah, that was one of my first
kit.
away games with my dad, and you're obviously up in the gods at Newcastle, and it's just that's all time, like, you know, top. I'd say top 10 goals I've ever seen for Wednesday. That.
Yeah.
But that.
What else you got? You had to be there though.
Genuinely, smudges the other day. I can't think of many that I've seen that are better than that.
What a strike that is.
Just like everything about it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like
It goes out and comes in.
And I was behind the net because I very rarely get to do away games like as a fan, and I was writing a feature for that one, so I was right behind that net.
So the shape of it.
Yeah, just proper. Like there's been a few in terms of best ones I've seen. I do think, and it's occasion included in everything.
Yeah.
I like a diving header. So Josh's at Wembley was a bit special.
But it's not the greatest goal you've ever seen.
No, it's not. What would you say your best ever Wednesday goal you've seen?
With my criteria, man. How good is it?
Are we just going purely
pure? It could be at home to Wickham or whatever. It doesn't matter. Atinu, when he dribbled past 3 people in the corner flag, that was pretty special.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, all of Adam Reach's goals from 2018-19.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
That goal of the year competition's mental, isn't it? But just on Sheffield Wednesday alone.
Yeah, no, it was
crazy.
It was stupid that year.
But yeah, I was there for Reach's because a lot of them were at home, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And we're on North Stand as well, so he did cut in a couple of times. I don't know, in recent memory, it's Forestieri's away at Norwich, but I weren't there for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, yeah, if we're talking ones we weren't there at, just the Malcolm Matthias one against Leeds was a joke.
Yeah, weren't there.
Yeah, again, I was a few thousand miles away from that one, but no, it feels like
Marhamshire against Watford in League Cup.
That's a great shout.
I was there on Cup.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sorry,
that's a
sorry
good
everybody, it moved on.
No, I was gonna say like the goals that Wednesday have scored, it does feel like we had a bit. I mean, look, parts of last season were drab anyway, but it does feel like we're getting them back. You know, like Osama scored a couple of screamers.
Moments, that goal at Coventry.
Yeah, so I mean, like it feels like we've got a few more of those in our locker now.
Well, it's just getting better players, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's where you go with it, and if we can just bring a few more in, like going forward, like literally going forward, we are lacking a bit of quality, aren't we? And Ugbo's been disappointing.
Yeah, I feel for Ugbo because with EK, like you can see, like it's not like a lack of application or anything like that. It's just like he's not going for him at the moment, and as a striker, that is.
He needs one.
That's what you need, isn't it? Like it's the oldest cliche in the book. You just need to score, and
he was so good at the end of last year. He'd bully defenders. He'd make 60-40s turn in his favour, and he's just like half a yard off and in.
And I think part of it as well is like when you're a striker, you almost need goals to justify your place. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what else you might do, because you can see like Danny rates him. You know, Danny rates even on a day when he doesn't score, he sees. And let's be honest, he sees things that we don't see because
I don't know what you mean.
Because we're not football managers. But yeah, I think that with EK, it does just feel like it has to be a matter of time before it comes right for him. But it feels like we now have a squad that is, if nothing else, comfortable in it.
I think they'll stay up. And really, considering how last season went and finished, staying up. Box number 1 ticked, but it's just all that in it before the season starts. I think we can get playoffs.
Do you know what was the worst thing? Plymouth. That Plymouth win on the first day.
Yeah,
it's
a big recovery after that, isn't it? We're going to win the league, lads.
Have we got the greatest manager on the planet?
Yeah, probably. No, he's been questioned for the first time, hasn't he, with a few decisions, which is perfectly normal.
Yeah, and I mean, like I think it's. Because it did feel like for a period like he was like completely untouchable.
Midas touch that. Yeah, Danny's big team this week, lads. Fine, but now he's done a couple of bits that. I didn't. You know, when you see a starting 11, you didn't really see it coming, but you've got no idea what's going on, do you? Like
no, and I think that's important to talk about, isn't it? With football, is that you know I feel like I have a better insight than a lot of people do, but I'm also not there at training every week, so I don't know what's going on. You don't know what kind of training sessions people have had. You know, I know from not at Wednesday, but from working at, in the past, like there's been players turn up for training, like they've had a few and all that kind of stuff, and they've had issues. Again, important to say that's not Wednesday, but like you don't know that from the outside. So when someone doesn't get picked, you don't know how well someone's performed in training. You don't know like what sort of prep has gone into the team that you're playing against and things like that.
You see everything from your club's perspective.
Yeah.
You might pick 2 or 3 on the basis that they've got a great left winger, they've got this, they've got that. Let's nullify that and we can play.
And let's be honest, Danny and his team know more about any opposition than what we.
That's what I've heard from people like you. Yeah.
Like they put so much effort into prepping things. I do think it's interesting. Like we talking about, I said we won't talk about it again, but the derby. Like I'd be fascinated to know, and we never will because it's obviously closed shop stuff. But you know the way that the two managers approach that game, because in my head, Chris Wilder's been talking about that for weeks, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? I think that
probably gets up. There's a picture of Danny rolling at Henry's bed or something, isn't there? Oh, they're obsessed. They're obsessed.
But no, but you know what I mean. Like I do think that because Chris is a local boy and
he knows what he means.
He's a fan and all that kind of stuff.
And obviously winning to him meant an awful lot.
And and I do think with Danny it will have been because he is such an analytical person. Look, don't get me wrong, he very much got the importance of it. You could see in the things that he was saying and the way that he was working that he got it. But I do still think he will have been a case of we focus on this game and then after that we'll focus on the next one. And after that, we'll
hopefully learn things from it.
Yeah.
Rather than be totally emotional about it. But you do like you say, you do need a bit of that, and Wilder does give them. That.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention him anymore.
Yeah, we'll stop talking about that. But for yourself, you've got a couple of bits coming up, haven't you?
I've always got a few bits. Me, I can never really. I don't know. I've just got this weird life where I'm
the Joe
half
Carnall
teacher,
Christmas.
half sort of Z-list rock star.
Do you ever? And this is completely away from Wednesday and the purpose of this show. But like, I know that back in the day you had a bit of a choice to make, didn't you? You had like quite a big university choice to make, or going and being a rock star.
Yes, so at Doncaster Polytechnic. I don't even know if that exists. I got a place at Cambridge to study history when I was 18. But I was in this band called Milburn with my brother and my two really close mates. And I thought, well, if I go to university, they're screwed. So
it's a completely selfless act then.
You know me. You know me. No, and obviously, being in a band for me was meant as much as being a professional footballer. Everyone's obsessed with a couple of things when growing up. So could not do it, and I don't regret that. I think my life would have been totally different, and I don't know if I'd have been happier. So what matters is happiness, and I've done all right at it.
Yeah.
I'm here on a whatever evening, supping Guinness, talking about Sheffield Wednesday. So
could be a lot worse.
Could be worse. I could be in the city, still behind a desk. So.
No, absolutely. But I mean, you do have your show coming up.
I do a Christmas gig every year. Yeah, this is the 14th time I've done it.
It's a bit nuts, that, isn't it? Considering how obviously Melbourne aren't touring all the time like they used to be. But the fact that your show is almost, for a lot of people in the city, is seen as that's the real start of Christmas.
They do it so late. They do it on the 23rd. So by then everyone's ready. Even if they've got to go into work and show their face the next day for an hour, everyone's ready. And I've just done this thing, completely accidental, where it just snowballed and it just does its own thing. Like, people who work away come home a day earlier, and they all meet up with their mates, and they'll get, there'll be 7 people come together. So completely accidental. I've just created this thing. I've not really thought about it. Play a few covers, play some Melbourne tunes, play some of my own.
But Sheffield's really good at that, isn't it? I don't think we shout enough about ourselves to other people, but when it comes to internal stuff, we are very good. We talk about the Wednesday night divide and stuff, but we are very good at sort of clubbing together and making it a local thing, don't we?
And if you consider like Thai football and music, I've done 14 of these Christmas gigs, hundreds of Melbourne gigs, loads of Rev gigs when I used to play with them. And football never gets in the way of it.
No, exactly.
You never, and there's the odd chant every now and again, but when you're in that setting, you tend to find people come to gigs and pretty sound. And they've not got much time for it. They're there for what they're there for, and if you're from Sheffield, they'll get behind you. Yeah,
because even if there's a few shirts in the audience and stuff like that, you don't tend to. It's not really a thing, is it?
Nah.
Like it's almost like we will accept this for today because it's fine.
Well, on that note, and this is a good time to finish. When Melbourne played Tramlines, one of our guys come into the dressing room before and said, "Oh, what's your walk-on song?" And a couple of other lads were out, and it was just me and my brother in the dressing room. We're like, "Should we do it?" Yeah, go on, let's do it. Bear in mind, it's 200 yards from Hillsborough. So Melbourne went on to High Silver Lining.
Excellent.
And they pressed play on it. And one of the Tramlines guys ran into the dressing room. "Who's done this? You've got to turn it off now."